And how's it going, everybody? This is Robbie1 Kenobi, and I'd like to welcome you to my live review of Lucha Underground Ultima Lucha 3, Nights 3 and 4. If you guys remember, about 2 weeks ago, I reviewed Nights 1 and 2. That was the first half of this two-part review series, and now I'm going to be reviewing Nights 3 and 4 of Ultima Lucha 3. And overall, guys, I feel like Nights 3, and 4 were just... they were awesome nights. You know, I feel like these last two nights were the perfect conclusion to season 3 of Lucha Underground and made this just another awesome and successful Ultima Lucha event. So we're going to start off, of course, with night 3. And just like last time, guys, I have individual show grades for each night. And then at the end of my review, I will give you my overall event rating for Ultima Lucha 3. So night 3 kicked off with Sexy Star versus Taya in a last Luchadora standing match. And this was a really good fight, guys. You know, it was, you could really feel the intensity, animosity between these two ladies because they had been beefing for quite a while during season 3. You know, Taya on 2 separate occasions cost Sexy Star the Gift of the God. I believe she cost her the Gift of the Gods championship. She for sure cost Sexy Star the Lucha Underground championship, screwed Sexy Star out of advancing further in the Cueto Cup, and they just had a lot of animosity, and it was clearly shown in this match. You know, they fought inside the ring, they brawled outside, they brawled through the believers. At one point, I remember they were exchanging knife edge chops to see who was, you know, who could hit who harder. I just really enjoyed this match. You know, this is what I was expecting more of from Ivelisse versus Katrina. Not saying it was a bad match, but like I said, I was expecting a little more. What we got here with Sexy Star and Taya was exactly what it needed to be in a last Luchadora standing match. My only complaint with this match was that it was too short. You know, night 3 was only an hour long. I understand there could have been time constraints or whatnot, but I wish it would have gone a little longer. Because like I said, the animosity between these two leading into this match really was evident. You know, I felt like maybe another 5-7 minutes, it would have been a better match than it was. But I still thought it was a really good fight. Daya bled in this match. She got cracked over the head with a beer bottle by Sexy Star. And then Sexy Star grinding her face against, I forgot if it was a fence or something. But they were fighting like somewhere, like I think it was near the commentators, near Matt Striker and Vampiro. But like I said, crazy fight, crazy brawl. In the end, both of them are brawling in the crowd, you know, where the believers, and they're choking one another. And below them are 2 tables that were set on top of each other that Daya had brought out earlier in the match. Both of them are choking each other, and at the last minute, both of them fall through the table. And then Sexy Star manages, she barely manages to beat the count. I think at like 10, she manages to get her right arm up. And Matt Striker pointed this out. It was kind of like symbolizing her reaching for the believers, trying to, you know, for them to help bring her back up to her feet. And in the end, Sexy Star won the last Luchadora standing match. So, really good match. As always, guys, my match ratings are down below in the description box. And I know this is the first time I've talked about Sexy Star since the controversial events with her breaking Rosemary's arm. And I never really commented on it. It's very... what she did was atrocious. It was very unprofessional. You know, I don't know what she was trying to prove. And, you know, I loved watching Sexy Star on Lucha Underground. You know, they really made her a household name. She was one of the true fan favorites among the believers. But honestly, I can't have respect for a wrestler who doesn't have the respect, or doesn't have respect for the fellow wrestler she's wrestling with. You know, like Joey Ryan said, you have to, you know, in wrestling, you have to trust your partner, whether it's your opponent, tag team partner, whatnot. If you can't trust your opponent, you shouldn't be in the wrestling business. So, you know, it is what happened, and I don't condone it one bit. And I've lost my respect for Sexy Star because of that. And then the fact that she has the audacity to try to portray herself as the victim, you know, she honestly should just be banned from professional wrestling, because if she did that to Rosemary, I mean, God knows what she'll do. So yeah, I mean, I never really did a video on it, but I'm gonna comment on it now. Sexy Star, unfortunately, you've lost my respect. I thought you were a great luchadora up until what I found out happened. And then also the controversy between you and Taya in real life with the over the Reina de Reinas title. So, you know, it's very unfortunate because I thought Sexy Star was a great luchadora, but in professional wrestling, you need to trust your opponents and your partners. And when you do something like that, you break that trust. And honestly, you should not be, you know, a lot of people have said they don't want her ever being on their shows or in their locker rooms. Chris Jericho even said he would not have Sexy Star on Talk is Jericho. So yeah, you know, I'm sorry, Sexy Star, but you lost my respect because just what you did was uncalled for. It was unprofessional. It was atrocious. And you honestly should not be wrestling, especially for the fact that you failed to admit your mistake. You didn't own up to your own responsibility, and you try to paint yourself as the victim. So I'm sorry. You put on a hell of a match with Daya, but you've lost my respect. That's all I can say. Next, we had the Trios Championship match, the Reptile Tribe with Cobra Moon defending against the Mack, Killshot, and Dante Fox. Now, of course, this stemmed from Mack winning the Unique Opportunity Battle Royal, and Dario Cueto granted him awarding him with a Trios Championship match. But the catch was that Dario would choose Killshot's opponent, not Killshot, Mack's partners, and Mack's partners ended up being the two guys that damn near killed each other in the Hell of War, Killshot and Dante Fox. Now, the question going into this match was, would Killshot and Dante Fox even make it to the event, particularly Dante Fox, because he's the one that took a harrowing fall through that huge plate glass window at the end of Hell of War. And they did show up, and they showed the wounds of war, their scars of war for sure. And what I liked was, as they were making their way to the ring, Dante Fox and Killshot weren't getting along. They're looking at each other like, yeah, you know, we just try to kill one another. We just try to go to war. I still don't like you. I like the animosity we had there. This was a great match. Great storytelling, because you wondered would Mack, Killshot, and Dante be able to come together and win the Trios Championship, especially with Killshot and Dante Fox having endured the Hell of War. And I really enjoyed the storytelling in this match. I like how this was fast-paced, and I just loved it. This match was great. Some highlights included Vibora hitting a double chokeslam on Killshot and Dante Fox. That dude, I've called him the Undertaker and Kane of Lucha Underground, the Undertaker and Kane of the Reptile Tribe, and just because he is freaking huge, and he just hella reminds me of Taker and Kane. So I mean, I love what this guy does. Pindar then hit Killshot with a pop-up cutter. You had Vibora catching Dante Fox in midair, going for a chokeslam, but Dante managed to flip out of it and connect with an Inzugiri. And then Killshot followed that up with a pump kick. Mack managed to hit Vibora with a pounce, which I believe was the first time Vibora had ever been knocked off his feet. And then this finish was awesome, guys. At one point, Dante Fox and Killshot hit flipping sentons over the top rope, and you could actually, like, there was a camera shot of Dante getting up, and you could see his back, and his back was scarred up from going through the barbed wire and all the glass and whatnot. So that was really brutal. Again, kudos to Dante Fox for taking all those ridiculous bumps that he did in Hell of War. And then in the end, guys, I love this ending. It was great. Pindar was on the top rope. Dante hit him with a Dante's Inferno, which is the C4 from the top rope. Mack followed that up with a stunner, and Killshot sealed the deal with a kill stomp for the 1-2-3. And the Mack, Killshot, and Dante Fox are your brand new Trios champions. Great match. Just great storytelling with these three guys coming together. Dante and Killshot at one point put their differences aside. They took down the Reptile Tribe, and in the end, they are the new Lucha Underground Trios champions. In my opinion, like, honestly, I did not expect that Mack and Killshot and Dante were going to become a team, because I thought, if anything, Hell of War was the best way to end the feud between Killshot and Dante Fox. But I like this team. I mean, if you guys remember all the way back in season 1, Mack and Killshot were on the same trio with Big Rick when the first Trios Championship tournament began. So it's great to see Mack and Killshot on the same team as Trios champions with Dante thrown into the mix. I'm excited to see them as Trios champions. And like I said, the storytelling in this match was great. It wasn't a long match, but it was a fun, exciting match. And the storytelling with Mack, Killshot, and Dante coming together was awesome. And Mack has officially, all 3 guys have officially won their first championship in Lucha Underground. So I look forward to seeing what may be in store for these guys as the Trios champions. And then for night 3, we had our main event, which was the Gift of the Gods Championship ladder match, Son of Havoc versus Pentagon Dark. This was a very good match. I was just expecting a little more. See, I'm going to be real with you guys. Ultima Lucha 3 as a whole was another awesome event. Don't get me wrong. But there were certain matches where I was expecting a little more, and I just didn't get it. Now, it doesn't hurt the matches because they were still really good to great matches. But, like, here's one match where I was expecting a little more, and while this was a very good match, like I said, I was just expecting a little more. Just my opinion. I'm just saying. But, anyway, in this match, we had at one point Son of Havoc positioning a ladder in between Penta's legs, and he whacked away with the steel chair, so he's pretty much banging him in the dick with the steel chair. Penta brought in a table earlier in the match, and I believe he had it set up at this point, but then Havoc caught him with a belly to back suplex through the table. Havoc went for a shooting star press with a ladder on top of Pentagon, but Penta countered with a nice cutter, a la Randy Orton. And then Penta hit a package pile driver through 4 chairs that were set up. And then in the end, Penta and Havoc were battling on top of the ladder. But Penta caught Havoc and threw him through a table, climbed to the top of the ladder, and retrieved the Gift of the Gods Championship. So Pentagon Dark is your Gift of the Gods Champion. And this is a match that could have gone either way. But I'm a huge fan of Penta, so I was so happy to see him win the Gift of the Gods Championship. And that wouldn't be the last we saw of him at Ultima Lucha. Just a heads up. That was not the last we saw of him at Ultima Lucha 3. But night 3 was a great night. Another great episode of Lucha Underground. I gave that a B+. And then that ultimately set the stage for night 4, which was this past Wednesday. And night 4, guys, what an awesome way to end the season and to end Ultima Lucha 3. So night 4 kicked off with El Dragón Azteca Jr. versus Matanza in a steel cage match. This was what it was. It was mainly Matanza just dominating El Dragón Azteca Jr. And this was another match that I really thought could have been something special, especially with the story and the feud of El Dragón Azteca Jr. trying to get revenge on Matanza for one, damn near killing him, choke slamming him through the bleachers in their death match, and then 2, for Matanza's savage assault on Rey Mysterio Jr., who of course is El Dragón Azteca Jr.'s mentor. So this was to me the most disappointing match of the whole Ultima Lucha event, only because it could have been like an insane match, you know. And it was mainly Matanza just dominating El Dragón Azteca Jr. and having his way with him. Now in the beginning, Dragón Azteca went straight for Matanza. Matanza popped him up, and then Azteca went to the top of the cage and hit a moonsault. So that was his first and really like his only notable offense that he got this entire match. From there, Matanza was just beating him up in the cage, and then at one point Matanza hit a belly-to-belly throw, which caused Azteca to go through the cage, and his feet did hit he landed on his back, but his feet were touching the floor. So he was immediately declared the winner because you can win by pinfall, submission, or escape with both of your feet hitting the cage. But Dario Cueto wasn't having it. Dario Cueto said, your night is far from over. You're not escaping this assault, this beat down. You're not getting away from it that easy. I'm restarting the match. you can only win by pinfall or submission. So he was pretty much sealing Azteca's fate. He was saying Azteca's not getting out until Matanza pretty much kills him. So from there, Matanza just continued to beat him up. Azteca managed to get some offense in the end, but at the end, Black Lotus, who was El Dragón Azteca Jr.'s opponent from last year's Ultima Lucha event, she returned. She climbed to the top of the cage and hit a diving crossbody on Azteca, which allowed Matanza to hit the Wrath of the Gods and score the 1-2-3 for the win. So this, like, I understand this was all about just further establishing Matanza's dominance, but why I said this was the most disappointing match of the night was simply, and the most disappointing match of the show was because with the build, I thought you could have really done something special, having El Dragón Azteca Jr. put up one hell of a fight, really come close to beating Matanza, and then in the end, Matanza just happens to be too strong and beat him. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing against the performers, because I love both guys, but it was just, I felt like there could have been so much more done with this match. Now, afterwards, Matanza was celebrating on the top rope, and then Black Lotus hit him with a low blow, powerbombed him, confronted Dario Cueto, and called him a liar. And basically, that was referring to the fact that Dario Cueto said or lied to Black Lotus and said that it was the original El Dragón Azteca that killed her parents when it was really Matanza or someone else. I forget. But then Dario, with this sick grin on his face, said, yeah, I am a liar. I am a liar. I lied to you. And then Matanza pretty much laid out Black Lotus with a Wrath of the Gods. So it was interesting to see Black Lotus return because, like I said, she's had beef with El Dragón Azteca Jr. because he believes well, it was Black Lotus who killed El Dragón, the original El Dragón Azteca. Then Lotus lied and said it was Matanza who killed El Dragón Azteca, the original El Dragón Azteca. And then they had their match at Ultima Lucha 2, which ended in no contest because of Pentagon Dark returning and breaking their arms. So it was interesting to see that come somewhat full circle. And once again, that's just a strong example of storytelling and continuity. And that's what I love in WWE. Or that's what I love to see in professional wrestling. That's what WWE needs to really do more of. That's what I love to see from in Lucha Underground. So, like I said, guys, this match was what it was. It was mainly to just establish Matanza's dominance, further establish his dominance. I mean, he was mainly just annihilating, and he just dominated Dragón Azteca Jr. for the majority of the match. So it's going to be interesting to see if we do get Black Lotus versus Matanza in the near future. But other than that, guys, this match was what it was. It was just Matanza dominating and destroying Azteca Jr. From there, we went on to the three-way Gauntlet of the Gods match. Cage versus Jeremiah Crane versus Mil Muertes. Now, originally, this match was just a traditional three-way. But before the start of the match, Dario Cueto came out and said that because this gauntlet has consumed all three of them, and because he wants a clear-cut definitive winner, he's making it an elimination match. And this match was freaking wild. This felt like an old school ECW match. You know, there was blood, there was glass, there was tables. It was just an insane freaking match. It was just a wild bout. So during this match, you had Mil Muertes chokeslam Jeremiah Crane through a table, and then surprisingly hit a tilt-a-whirl head scissors on Cage. Now, think about this, guys. This is Mil Muertes. This dude is big, all right? He is not a cruiserweight. He is not a lightweight. He is big. He's a heavyweight. So for him to do that on Cage, that's kind of like when Kane did a Hurricane Rana on Albert or a dropkick, whatever it was. Yeah, you'd have to, like, see it to believe it. Cage then hit Mil Muertes with a Frankensteiner off the top rope, followed by a lion saw. And Cage is another one whose athleticism and agility for a big man really impresses me. You know, for him to do a lion saw, that was really cool. Cage was mixing it up with Jeremiah Crane, and then Jeremiah Crane stabs Cage in the head with skewers. You know those barbecue skewers? He stabs Cage in the head, and Cage is bleeding from the top of the head. It was a cringeworthy moment. And then he followed that up with a bicycle kick and a DDT. Mil Muertes attempted to spear Jeremiah Crane on the outside, but he missed and he crashed through a plate glass window. I don't know what is up with like Lucha Underground bringing in plate glass windows all of a sudden, but ever since Hell of War, they were bringing those in, and Mil Muertes was bleeding from the right arm, I believe, but he was bleeding. I mean, there was blood in every single episode of Ultima Lucha 3. A lot of blood in Hell of War. Phoenix bled in night 2. Like I just said, Sexy Star bled in night 3. And now Mil Muertes, Jeremiah Crane, and Cage were all bleeding in this freaking match. And I forgot how Jeremiah got busted open, but he was bleeding pretty bad in the other stages of the match. Crane went for a Frankensteiner, excuse me, but Mil Muertes caught him and powerbombed him on the ring apron. Cage grabbed a hammer and hit Mil over the head with it. He then positioned Mil Muertes on 2 tables on the outside, and then from the inside to the outside, Cage suplexed Jeremiah Crane onto Mil Muertes through the table. Cage then eliminated Jeremiah Crane with Weapon X. The battle then came down to I almost said Jeremiah Crane because I'm looking at my notes, but it came down to Cage and Mil Muertes. Jeremiah Crane returned with a steel chair and attacked Cage, but Cage retaliated with a distant clothesline. But in the end, Mil Muertes hit the flatliner on that steel chair for the 1-2-3, and Mil Muertes wins the Gauntlet of the Gods. So after the match, Mil Muertes puts on the gauntlet. He does like Roman Reigns when he does the Superman punch, and had his fist hit the ring, hit the mat. And when he did that, the lights went out in the temple, and I was thinking, okay, what's going on? Like, is something demonic gonna happen? Some godly like thing gonna happen? And when part of the lights came back on, King Cuerno was right behind Mil Muertes, attacked Katrina, body slammed her, and then drilled Mil Muertes with the thrill of the hunt and snatched the Gauntlet of the Gods for himself. So King Cuerno, who was last seen stuffed in a coffin last Ultima Lucha after he lost the death match to Mil Muertes, has returned, got his revenge on Mil, and now he has the Gauntlet of the Gods. So this Gauntlet of the Gods first went to Cage, then went to Jeremiah Crane, then Dario Cueto managed to retrieve it, then Mil Muertes won it, and now freaking King Cuerno has the damn, King Cuerno has the damn gift of the god, not gift of the gods, the Gauntlet of the Gods. Oh man, that was awesome. This Gauntlet of the Gods, I'm interested in seeing how it's gonna affect King Cuerno, because remember, when Cage had that thing, it turned him into a monster. It nearly possessed him, it nearly corrupted him, and at one point he freaking smashed the head of a Councilman Delgado with that gauntlet. But this match, like I said, was great. It was just freaking, it was a throwback to the ECW matches where there was blood, you know, no thumbtacks, but I mean, there was blood, there was tables, we had glass, freaking skewers. It was just, this match was freaking awesome. And, you know, like I said, it was just a throwback to the ECW matches, and it was an awesome match. And I think making it a 3-way elimination match made it even better. But even if it wasn't, I mean, this match was just wild, and it was freaking awesome. Now, we go to the main event. Johnny Mundo, the Lucha Underground champion, defending his championship against Prince Puma in a career versus title match. Now, this was a very good match. Matt Striker's commentary really made this match feel special. Because remember, it's career versus title. If Prince Puma loses, his career in Lucha Underground is done. And this match started off good, but then it got even better once a certain spot happened. So they fought in the ring, they fought a little bit in the crowd, and then here's where the match really picked up, excuse me. So Johnny Mundo went for a flying chuck and almost hit referee Marty Elias, but he managed to stop himself and whatnot. Puma went for a spinning roundhouse kick and he knocked out Marty Elias. Then the Worldwide Underground came out. They attacked Puma. They hit him with a super kick brainbuster combination. And Taya then brought out referee Rick Knox, and Rick Knox counted 1, 2, but Puma managed to kick out. Worldwide Underground was pretty much pissed off at referee Rick Knox because they felt like he didn't do the right job counting or something, and then they just decided to beat down Rick Knox. So as Worldwide Underground continues to get their lickings in on Puma, Angelico returns. Now Angelico hadn't been seen for a while because he was dealing with a legit injury, and I think it was in a match against the Worldwide Underground. It was him and Son of Havoc versus the Worldwide Underground, and in that match he got legit injured. So this was Angelico's return. Angelico just laid out all the members of Worldwide Underground. Daya grabbed a chair. Angelico got face to face with Daya. Johnny tried to hit him with a chair, and Johnny ended up hitting Daya with the chair. Puma managed to lay out Johnny, hit him with the springboard knee senton, then hit a springboard 450 for a very close 2 count. Johnny also managed to hit Moonlight Drive from the top rope, but Puma kicked out of that. In the end, Puma hit a shotgun drop kick, followed by the 630, and Prince Puma scores the 1-2-3 to secure his career and win his second Lucha Underground Championship, making him the first ever 2-time Lucha Underground champion. Like I said, guys, the match was good, but then it really picked up after all the crazy interference. And like I said, Matt Striker's commentary really made this match special. Now, when this match ended, I was looking at the time, and it was like 9:30. Now, I saw this at 8 o'clock Wednesday night. I didn't see it when it first aired, so I caught the encore at 8 o'clock. So it was 9:30, and this match had already ended. And throughout the show, because I saw how fast matches were happening, I was thinking to myself, is there going to be another match, like an impromptu match or something? Or are they going to is this thing going to end really early? Because Puma and Mundo was the main event. But something was saying, okay, I think something's going to happen and Puma's going to have to defend that title again. Like, I'm thinking, I was trying to think of multiple scenarios. So Dario Cueto comes out. He congratulates Prince Puma on securing his career and winning back the Lucha Underground Championship. But then he tells Puma that Puma's night is not over. Puma has to now defend his newly won Lucha Underground Championship against one more challenger. And I started thinking, oh crap, I think I know who he's going to defend it against. And Dario Cueto even said it. Normally, I like to promote these things in advance, but this guy came to me last week and said he wanted to take this opportunity. I know that's my rule, but rules are meant to be broken, especially because this is Ultima Lucha. And he reveals that Prince Puma will defend his title against Pentagon Dark. I just started marking the hell out because I was thinking, oh my God, this could be the night that Penta finally wins the Lucha Underground Championship. And then, if that's not enough, Dario Cueto adds one final stipulation. And the stipulation is the loser of this match has to leave Lucha Underground forever. So this was a career-ending match for both guys. So if the stakes weren't high enough, they were even higher with the stipulation. So Penta goes into the ring. So the match begins. Penta goes right after Puma, hits him with a backstabber, then breaks Puma's arm. Like seconds into the match, he hits a backstabber, then he breaks Puma's arm. And I'm thinking at this rate, oh my God, like Puma now has to wrestle with a broken arm. Like, it was crazy. I think Puma had to put his arm back into the socket because of Penta breaking it, and then they taped it up. So now Puma has to fight with one good arm against Penta, who was pretty fresh from the ladder match. And for an impromptu title match, this match was great because it had me on the edge of my seat. It was an exciting match. And just the thought of one of these guys leaving Lucha Underground forever was crazy because they're both household names, foundations of Lucha Underground. And this was a huge match. And it's funny because these were the two guys who fought in the finals of the Cueto Cup. So Penta didn't win the Cueto Cup, but he won the Gift of the Gods Championship, and he still managed to main event Ultima Lucha 3. And I have no problem with that. I freaking loved it. I mean, it's like, and I'm not saying Penta's a bad guy, but I'm just saying he lost to Puma, he won the Gift of the Gods, and he got another chance to fight Puma. I love it. It's just crazy. It's things like that that make me love professional wrestling. It's like, it's just awesome. So this match was awesome. I loved it. I loved the fast pace and the storytelling and how it had me on the edge of my seat in this match. Despite having one good arm, Puma did manage to hit his Northern Lights vertical suplex combo. He also hit a Lucha Destroyer, followed by the GTS he does with the roundhouse kick. And then in the end, Puma goes for the 630. Vampiro's on the outside trying to cheer him on. Because remember, Vampiro took Puma under his wing early on in Season 3 of Ultima Lucha. Of Lucha Underground. And he turned Puma into like a darker fighter, a darker figure. So Vampiro's on the outside. Puma goes for the 630. Right as Puma jumps off the top rope, Vampiro pulls Penta out of the way. Puma misses. Penta then hits the pump handle driver. And then hits a package pile driver. Covers Prince Puma. 1, 2, 3. Pentagon Dark beats Prince Puma, wins the Lucha Underground Championship, and ends Prince Puma's Lucha Underground career. It was insane. And guys, I had this feeling Vampiro was going to somehow get involved in the main event. Not necessarily Johnny Mundo versus Prince Puma, but I had this feeling he was going to get involved in the Puma Penta match. And he did. He was dressed up in a suit and tie, and he had this grin on his face. He had this like little smile on his face the whole time. And when he did that, Matt Striker flipped his shit. He was appalled. He got so pissed off at Vampiro. He told Vampiro, "Don't you dare think of sitting next to me. I'll let this little kid in the crowd. I'll let this little kid in the crowd sit next to me and do commentary before I ever let you sit next to me." It was just insane. And then Vampiro gets in the ring. He does Cero Miedo with Penta. And it's just like, it's crazy because Vampiro, think about this. Vampiro and Penta nearly killed each other in their Cero Miedo match at Ultima Lucha 2 years ago. And then, of course, Vampiro revealed himself to be Pentagon's mysterious master. And then he took Penta under his wing and prepared him for the battle with Matanza at last year's Ultima Lucha for the Lucha Underground Championship. And when he lost, Penta betrayed Vampiro and bloodied him with a barbed wire bat. Now, a year later, Vampiro reunites with Penta and helps him win the Lucha Underground Championship. They have the most unorthodox relationship, but I love it. It's like Vampiro is so unpredictable on this show. One year he's fighting Penta, then reveals himself to be Penta's master. The next year he's got issues with Penta because Penta betrayed him and left him in a pool of his own blood. Then this year he helps Penta win the Lucha Underground Championship. It's like he is the most unpredictable dude on the show. And I think that's a testament to Vampiro because he's always played this dark, mysterious, unpredictable character. So this, on top of Penta beating Puma, has to be like the OMG moment of the year for Lucha Underground. It's just the most insane thing, you know? And yes, T and Couponer, I do agree with you. In one night, Puma hit the high, the ultimate high, and he hit the ultimate low. That's brilliant storytelling. That's compelling storytelling. That's what makes Lucha Underground the product that it is today. So the show ends with Puma walking out of the ring, tears in his eyes, the crowd chanting, "Thank you, Puma." And then this is my favorite part of every Ultima Lucha. It always has this dramatic conclusion. You're like some kind of big, blockbuster film. I love when they do these. So Puma's leaving the temple, and he takes his mask off, and he just drops it on the ground, symbolizing the end of Prince Puma. And I was thinking, like, would somebody pick the mask up and put the mask on and then assume become Prince Puma too? But no, it didn't happen. Puma takes the mask off, drops it, symbolizing the end of his career in Lucha Underground. Sexy Star is then seen. She's at some little celebration. She's signing autographs. She's thanking her fans. And then this little girl with a box shows up, with like this cute little jewelry box or whatever it is. And as she gives it to Sexy Star as a gift, she says to Sexy Star she hasn't forgotten. And then Sexy Star opens up the box, and there's a spider. And if you guys remember, it was in this season that Sexy Star kept getting these spiders left in her locker room. This little calling card for some, I'm assuming like it's going to be a Black Widow or Lady Araña or something. Some spider-themed character who's going to show up and go after Sexy Star. And Sexy Star was pissed. So, honestly, even, like, I don't know if they're going to bring Sexy Star back for Lucha Underground Season 4. Like I said, considering all the controversy she caused when she injured Rosemary. But I like how they ended the season with her pretty pissed off that she's still being harassed and bothered by this mysterious spider person. So, that is something up in the air. But as the show concluded, you had Phoenix and Melissa Santos leaving together in a car. You had Katrina leaving the temple. Jeremiah Crane looking up high, looking down at her. And I didn't mention this, but I thought because of what happened to Ivelisse with, Jeremiah Crane attacking her ankle again, I thought Katrina was going to align herself with Jeremiah Crane in that three-way match. That's something I didn't mention earlier, and I thought that was going to happen. But who knows? Maybe the relationship between them will continue going into Season 4. You also had King Cuerno, who was in his house, wherever he lives, with all his collection of things. As a hunter, he's a collector, and he's got the gauntlet. And I wonder what's gonna happen with him in that gauntlet. Is he gonna even use it, or did he just steal it from Mil Muertes to add it into his collection and get back at Mil for battering him the way he did in the death match and leaving him in that coffin? And then we go to Cobra Moon's palace, temple, whatever you want to call it, and you see Pindar is chained down to this like platform, and you see this sword being sharpened, and the guy sharpening the sword is none other than Daya, who we hadn't seen since last season at Ultima Lucha 2. And at the time, it looked like he was going to have a feud with Cobra Moon. So he returns, and he beheads Pindar. And you can see Pindar's gory, bloody head lying on the floor, which was freaking sick. And then Cobra Moon asks Daya, is he ready to be king? And he says yes. So, obviously, Pindar getting beheaded was his punishment for failing his queen and losing the Lucha Underground Trios Championships for his team. And now Daya has stepped up to the plate, and Daya is now a member of the Reptile tribe, although I don't know exactly how he relates to him unless he's just there to assist. Unless he's just there to assist Cobra Moon. But that was crazy. And his name means dagger in Spanish, so I don't know really how he's gonna what's the connection, but I think it's cool that he is aligning himself with the Reptile tribe and Cobra Moon, because like I said, I didn't know what happened to him all of Season 3 because he didn't show up until just now. I thought maybe he left Lucha Underground over some dispute, but no, he's back. So I think it's great that Daya is now in the Reptile tribe. And then, guys, we saw the moment, in my opinion, that shocked me, that just stunned me. But before I get to that, I remember going back to Vampiro. He told his master, his higher power, that he's helped Penta win the championship, and now the higher power wants Vampiro to destroy Penta and knock him off his perch. So that's why I said, guys, like, Vampiro is so unpredictable. Like, one day he aligns himself with Penta, the next he aligns himself with Puma, then he aligns himself with Penta again. Now he's aligned with the higher power that wants him to destroy Penta. It's like, does this guy have split personalities, or does he hear so many voices in his head? It's like, that's what I love about the character. His character is so unpredictable and just mysterious. So it's like, I can't wait to see who this higher power is that now wants Vampiro to destroy Penta, because this is going to lead to something very interesting. And don't be if Lucha Underground does return for season 4, and do not be surprised if at Ultima Lucha 4 we get Penta versus Vampiro for the championship. Do not be surprised if we get that match one way or another. But then we got the thing that shocked me the most. So Dario Cueto is talking to that African-American businessman that's made his appearances here and there, that Dario sometimes talks to in the limo with that guy's boss, who's like another higher power that we've never seen and we still don't know who he is. So they're talking in Dario's office. Dario says he's sorry that he didn't get that Cage didn't get back the Gift of the Gods, or the Gauntlet of the Gods. I almost call it championship, because he's the Gift of the Gods, Gauntlet of the Gods, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, he's apologizing for not getting back the Gauntlet. He plans on getting it back. And then the businessman says he doesn't have to worry about getting it back because he'll be dead by then. And then he pulls out a gun and he shoots Dario Cueto. He shoots Dario to the point where he's bleeding really bad. I was shocked because I thought, oh my God, he just killed Dario Cueto. And with whatever ounce of energy, life he has left, Dario Cueto makes a frantic phone call. And I believe he said the word Papa. And the guy on the phone, who I think was his father, said, Mijo, hijo, which means son in Spanish. And that's where it ends. Dario Cueto is bleeding, fighting for his life, and he may die. That's where season 4 ended. And not to mention, his brother is locked up, and his brother has a cellmate next to him locked up, and that happens to be Rey Mysterio Jr. Rey Mysterio Jr. is locked in a separate cell right next to Matanza's. What the hell? What is going to happen? And yes, TN, it is the perfect cliffhanger for the next season. Lucha Underground never fails to leave me wanting more. With everything that happened at the end of this season, and Dario Cueto being shot, oh my God, like, I really hope Lucha Underground comes back for season 4. I really hope so. So, without any further ado, guys, I'm going to give you my overall. For Night 4, I gave it an A-. Night 4 was just an awesome conclusion to Ultima Lucha 3. And for the entire Ultima Lucha 3 event, I give it a 9.25 out of 10. I mean, Lucha Underground, they keep delivering and delivering and delivering. They can do no wrong. And that's why I love Lucha Underground. You know, congratulations to everybody involved who made Ultima Lucha 3 another knockout success. Tons of great matches, of course. The Hell of War match is the best match of this Ultima Lucha event. You know, the twists and turns throughout this season, especially the main event, the double main event, because we had not one but 2 Lucha Underground Championship matches. One that was career versus title, and the other that was career versus career. It was insane. And that's why I love Lucha Underground. And guys, I know this isn't the slideshow video that I've done the last couple of years, but as has been tradition, it's now time for me to give you my thoughts on Lucha Underground Season 3. Here's my final thought. While I didn't think this season was better than Season 2, I still feel like Season 3 of Lucha Underground was a great season. Especially a lot of these final episodes that ultimately led into Ultima Lucha 3. I loved the storyline between Killshot and Dante Fox. You know, I've talked so much about their Hell of War match. But the storyline with Dante first coming in and the story revealed, the backstory revealed about these guys, how they went to war, and how Dante feels Killshot left him for dead, and how they were getting involved in one another's matches, and how they had this animosity for each other that culminated in the Hell of War. That was fantastic. You saw the rise of Johnny Mundo this season. He won the Gift of the Gods Championship, and he won the Lucha Underground Championship from, ironically, the same person, Sexy Star. Johnny Mundo had one of the best, in my opinion, Season 3 has to have been his best season in Lucha Underground, because this really showed why he was a bona fide main event player that WWE never pulled the trigger with. This, to me, made up for WWE never giving him a world title shot, never giving him a world title run. He won the Gift of the Gods title. He won the Lucha Underground title. He's one of the best heels in Lucha Underground. He had great matches as champion. He went all night long with the Mack. He had a really good match with Rey Mysterio Jr. He had a really good match with Puma. That just goes to show you why Johnny Mundo is one of the best pound-for-pound wrestlers in the sport. I will keep saying this to the day. I'll keep saying this until Johnny Mundo retires. He is one of the best pound-for-pound wrestlers in the sport, and I feel like he's one of the most underappreciated pound-for-pound wrestlers in the sport. And Lucha Underground gave him that chance to shine, and he shined brighter than he's ever shined before, in my opinion. And that's why I think going to Lucha Underground was the best thing he could have done. In the beginning of Season 3, you had Dario's Dial of Doom, where every week he'd spin that dial, and whoever's name was selected, they got a Lucha Underground Championship match against Matanza. And once again, Matanza, built like a strong, dominant machine, a strong, dominant monster, only lost once this whole season, and that was in the Aztec Warfare match, in Aztec Warfare 3, when he was, of course, pinned by Rey Mysterio Jr. And, of course, he and Rey's storyline was really good this season. I honestly thought they were going to have a match at Ultima Lucha. I thought it was going to be a death match. I honestly thought they were going to have a death match at Ultima Lucha 3, but they had their match on the 100th episode of Lucha Underground. It was the main event, and Matanza got major heel heat for the way he annihilated Rey Mysterio, just with that steel chair and everything, and the fact that he carried him to the back and he threw him into a jail cell. Oh, man, it was great. Aztec Warfare 3 itself was a fantastic match. The drama of Sexy Star beating the bigger, stronger Mil Muertes to become Lucha Underground champion, and the fact she's the only female Lucha Underground champion, that, for what it was incredible. Great storytelling, lots of great matches. The Phoenix, Marty the Moth storyline with Melissa Santos being thrown into the mix, and then Mariposa getting involved. That was fantastic. Melissa having her Ultima Lucha moment, where I still mark out at that. I think that was awesome. The fact she actually wrestled in a tag team match with Phoenix against Marty and Mariposa. See, what I love about Lucha Underground is they have so many compelling storylines and so many compelling characters. You get invested in them. And that's what I want more of from WWE. NXT, they know what they're doing. But WWE main roster is what I'm talking about. Season 3 was just great. Now, there were some episodes that were good, some that were all right, but I've never recalled a bad episode of Lucha Underground. I just feel like this season wasn't better than Season 2, but it was still a great season. I mean, I always tune into Lucha Underground, and that's what I love, is this is a product I can watch and I can enjoy it. And I think the fact that it's 1 hour and you get 3 or 4 matches and it's all about the wrestling, and you only go to commercial break on certain matches. You don't go to commercial break for most matches, but you do go to commercial breaks on certain matches if it's long or if it's Aztec Warfare or something like that, you know, like 2 out of 3 falls, but it has emphasis on the wrestlers and the wrestling. And that's what I love. Everything about Lucha Underground, from Season 1 to now, that's what I love. You know, you had some of my favorite newcomers to Lucha Underground included Dante Fox. Like I said, after Hell of War, he made me a fan for life. We got Son of Madness, who was part of the biker gang that Son of Havoc was a part of, so I'm interested in seeing if they bring in more more sons of the open road, like maybe Son of Chaos. Because I'm thinking like Son of Havoc, Son of Madness. You know, I'm thinking of like destruction and whatnot. So maybe Son of Chaos, Son of Riot. You know, be interested in seeing if they bring in more biker guys. The Reptile tribe was introduced, of course. Vibora and Pendar and Cobra Moon leading them to the ring and brainwashing Drago and making him her pet. That was great. You know, just a lot of great stuff happened this season, just like season 2. And again, that's why I'm a proud Lucha Underground fan, because they just give you one of the best products that they can. No bullshit about KFC sponsoring them or anything like that. No ridiculous Colonel Sanders commercials. No, it's all about wrestling and the wrestlers, and that's what I love about Lucha Underground. Now, with that said, here's the elephant in the room. Lucha Underground Season 4. Will it happen? There's not a lot of talk about Season 4 happening. A lot of the Lucha Underground talent have said that if this is the last season of Lucha Underground, they've been honored and privileged to be a part of this ride. And Lucha Underground, if I don't want them, I hope they come back for Season 4. Because with everything that happened here at Ultima Lucha 3 in the finale, especially with Dario Cueto fighting for his life after being shot, I would hate if Lucha Underground never came back. If this is the last season of Lucha Underground, then it went on a huge high note, but still, I don't want to be left questioning, is Dario Cueto alive? Is he dead? What happened to Rey Mysterio? I want to see what happens. Lucha Underground deserves to come back for Season 4. I remember reviewing Ultima Lucha 1 2 years ago, and I said Lucha Underground deserved to come back for Season 2 because there wasn't any certainty of a Season 2. But they came back for Season 2. Season 2 was a hit. They came back for Season 3. Season 3 was a hit. But now the question is, will there be Season 4? I'm trying to think positively, of course. I'm just going to say this. If this is indeed the last season of Lucha Underground, I want to thank everybody involved with Lucha Underground who made this show must-see TV and made this one of the new groundbreaking promotions of professional wrestling. So I know there's like so many people in Lucha Underground I'd have to thank that I like, but I mean, to Matt Striker and Vampiro, fantastic commentators. Melissa Santos, fantastic ring announcer. Great talent like Prince Puma, Johnny Mundo, Taya, Rey Mysterio Jr., Matanza, Dario Cueto, Ivelisse, Angelico, Son of Havoc, Pentagon Dark, Phoenix, Katrina, Mil Muertes, Cage, the Mack, Killshot, Dante Fox, like I said, guys, so many people on this list to thank. Mariposa, Marty the Moth, Cobra Moon, Aerostar, Drago, Mascarita Sagrada, the Rabbit Tribe. And the Rabbit Tribe was another really cool addition to Lucha Underground. I mean, the fact that Paul London, this great high flyer who I remember as a kid, playing this Vegas, I don't remember the name of the dude, playing this Vegas-like show persona, like, with these other two dudes was just great. Him playing this, oh God, I don't remember that Vegas dude's name, but him in this Las Vegas-like suit with this Las Vegas-like character just was great. You know, like the Rabbit Tribe was great. So just to everybody in Lucha Underground, I hope this isn't the last season, but if this does happen to be the last season, I just want to say thank you for making me a proud fan of Lucha Underground and just giving us 3 awesome seasons of a groundbreaking product that broke barriers and showed you that professional wrestling can be about wrestling. It doesn't have to be about, 20-minute promos and ridiculous authority figures and whatnot. Authority figures always having camera time. No. This showed you why wrestling is still alive and why it can break barriers with what Lucha Underground did. So, I'm just thankful to have been introduced to Lucha Underground, and I hope that they do come back for season 4, because like TN Couponer said, the ending was a perfect cliffhanger for season 4. So many crazy things yet to, that need to be answered, you know, with what happened at the end of Ultima Lucha 3. So I really hope Lucha Underground comes back for season 4. Maybe a GoFundMe page would help it, or a Patreon or whatnot. But like I said, if this is indeed the last season of Lucha Underground, as bittersweet as this would be, thank you, Lucha Underground, for everything. It's been a hell of a ride. Just, yeah, thank you for showing us that. Thank you for being that groundbreaker you were in professional wrestling. Thank you for breaking new ground. Well, almost an hour into this review, my guys. But I'm pretty much going to end it right here. So that will do it for my Lucha Underground Ultima Lucha 3 review of nights 3 and 4. Like I said, guys, I'm giving the entire Ultima Lucha event a 9.25 out of 10. Fantastic. Another fantastic Ultima Lucha event with an insane main event that had so many twists and turns. And just looking at the comments, I want to thank, of course, TN Couponer for all his comments. And I do think Lucha Underground is a great way to attract new wrestling fans. Because if you take a WWE fan that's frustrated with the current product, loves NXT, but then watches Lucha Underground, it's going to show them that wrestling's alive and well. And this show is breaking new ground for wrestling. So, yeah, definitely think Lucha Underground is a great way to attract new wrestling fans. So, thanks to everybody. Thanks to TN Couponer, of course, for being in the live chat. Thank you to everyone who watches and listens to this afterwards. Leave your comments down below and tell me what you thought of Ultima Lucha 3. What was your favorite match? What moment from the closing sequence of events shocked you the most? What, if there is season 4, what are you most looking forward to? And yeah, until then, guys, this is Robbie One Kenobi signing off. Everybody have a good day. If you're watching TLC, enjoy AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. I am so freaking excited for that match, as well as the return of Kurt Angle for the first time in 11 years. So enjoy that, guys. Thanks as always for watching and listening. And please, if you guys get a chance, please support my channel, subscribe to it, check out my other video content, and I will catch you guys later. So this is Robbie One Kenobi signing off. Thank you all for watching and listening. Everybody have a good day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.